Initiated at MIT in 2001 and built on the Java programming language, processing was created as a tool to teach programming in a visual context, providing instant gratification and visual feedback through electronic sketchbooks or sketches. We've gone over the basics of computers and file systems, and now it's time to learn how to install and operate processing. Since processing is an open source programming language and developing environment, all of the software and externals needed to create sketches are available for free on the web. I'll be showing you how to download and install processing on both the Windows and Mac OS X operating systems. Additionally, I'll walk you through the user interface of the program, showing you how to access and install external libraries. Let's get started installing processing. I'm going to show you how to install processing on both Mac OS 10.8 and Windows, but I've started here in Mac OS 10.8 first. The first thing you'll want to do is launch your web browser. I'm going to launch Safari from Spotlight. Once you do this, you want to navigate to processing.org. Once you reach the home page, you want to click on the download button along the left-hand side navigation. From here, you'll be prompted to offer a donation. Because processing is open source and non-profit, they provide you the opportunity to donate. To skip donations, simply click No Donation and download. From here, you'll be offered the opportunity to download the latest stable release of processing. At the time of this video, that's processing 2.0.2. For those of you who have run processing before, you might be running version 1.5, but I do recommend running at least version 2.0 or later, and definitely recommend running the latest stable release. Because I'm using Mac OS X, I'm going to go ahead and click that download button here. Once I click that, the download will begin. Now the processing file is a little bit large, coming in at 119 megabytes, so we'll go ahead and skip ahead to when that download completes. Once your download is complete, launch your Downloads folder to view the processing application. To keep things organized, I'm going to drop the processing application into my Applications folder to make sure that it's located with the rest of my applications. Once you do that, you've completed installing processing on Mac OS 10.8. To launch processing, simply double-click on the application icon or launch it from Spotlight. You may be prompted to install the Java runtime if you don't have it installed previously. Go ahead and click Install to install the runtime. Once your Java runtime has finished installing successfully, click OK and relaunch processing. Great. Once processing is launched successfully, you're ready to get started. Before we take a look at the interface, let me show you how to install processing on a Windows machine. Okay, here we are in the Windows environment, and we're going to follow a similar set of steps in order to install processing on Windows. The first thing you're going to want to do is launch your browser. I'm going to launch Google Chrome. From here, you're going to want to navigate to processing.org. Once you arrive here, click the download button along the left-hand side navigation. From here, you'll be prompted for the donation field. You can simply choose no donation and then click download. From here, you're going to want to select the version that corresponds to your current operating system. For me, I'm running Windows 64-bit, so I'm going to choose the Windows 64-bit download. Once it's finished downloading, you can launch the file by clicking on it. This is going to launch File Explorer, where you'll have the ability to extract the processing folder. I'm going to click Extract All and extract it to my desktop. Okay, click Extract. Once the extraction is complete, you can launch the processing folder from your desktop by double-clicking on it. This folder now contains everything we need to run processing. If you'd like to stay organized, you can copy this folder to your program files, to your C drive, or wherever you like to keep your applications. To launch processing for the first time, simply double-click the processing application file. Great. Now that we have processing installed, we're ready to explore the processing interface. Let's go ahead and launch our newly installed copy of processing. Each time you open processing, by default, processing will open a new sketch. That's shown here. I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen so we can take a look at the interface. The first thing you'll notice at the top is the menu. This is a simple menu: File, Edit, Sketch, Tools, and Help. Under here we have the control bar, the play sign to run your sketch, stop to stop your sketch, new, open, save, and export application. Right below here we have the tab area. You can see the tab here for our new sketch, and you can add new tabs simply by clicking this down arrow here. Right below that we have our text editor. This is where you can type all of your programming code. Below that we have the message area. This is where important messages from the processing application are shown. And right below that is the console area. This is where messages directly as a result of your code are shown. Next, I'd like to show you the Preferences menu. To access it, select File, Preferences. One of the first things you'll want to do when you first begin using processing is to set up your sketchbook location. This is the default area where all of your sketchbooks will be saved. I'm going to leave mine the way it is, but you're going to want to change yours to wherever you want to save all of your assignments. You can go ahead and leave all of these advanced preferences just as they are. I'm going to click OK to move on. Next, I'd like to show you how to access the example files that come preloaded with processing. To do so, select File, Examples. From here, you'll see that processing has a wide range of examples built in. I recommend browsing through these examples and loading a few just to see what processing is capable of. To load an example, simply click through the tree, select the example that you'd like to load, and double-click. This will load the sketch for that example. And you can run this example and see what the output is simply by clicking the Run button. In processing, each time you click the Run button, you're going to see the window view. This is the output of the processing program. Each time you click Run, it's going to launch a new window, whether your code calls for a window or not. I'm going to go ahead and close this example by clicking the X, and I'm going to close this example sketch as well by clicking the X. And I'll close this examples window as well. Now, processing comes preloaded with a few different libraries, but if you want to extend the libraries with processing, simply click the Sketch menu, Import Library, and you can add libraries. You can add a few of the common ones simply by clicking any of these options down here. But if you click the Add Library button, you're going to load the Processing Library Manager, where external libraries created by users can be added to your processing program. You can browse through these or search through these, and when you find the one you like, simply click the library and then click Install. Once it's installed, you can verify the installation by clicking Sketch, Import Library, and see that it's now located under the Contributed Libraries area. So, now that we've installed processing and taken a look over the interface, we're ready to get started programming our first sketch in processing.